RIP Jason Arday, gone too soon. Obviously, people that are responsible for this need to be held accountable. But yeah, guys, this is Don't Get Hit with a Brick. Today, we're gonna obviously break down the whole story behind Jason Arday, the contradictions, the hypocrisy, and then his fatal passing. So, if you guys are interested in this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into the video. So, Jason Arday, he was accused of plagiarizing his thesis for his universal professor. He was a universal professor, um, and yeah, he was accused of plagiarism by one of his colleagues. This led to him resigning because he passed all of the investigations and was found not guilty. Because when you do universal writings or assignments, you actually have a threshold of plagiarism that is not classed as plagiarism. So you're allowed to quote certain things or include information that is not coming directly from yourself, but it needs to be a certain percentage. He was not found to exceed that percentage, and then he also was not guilty of plagiarism. However, there were other people that were guilty of plagiarism and did not face none of the scrutiny that he faced, hence why he decided to resign, because he was being treated unfairly. He decided to resign, and then he was still hounded online by social media day by day by day by day, and it was came too much for him, and he unfortunately passed. Now, Shadeborough has been called to be held accountable for the pressure that he was under due to every post they posted since that story broke. He was at the end of the posts. Now, let me see if I can find this for you now. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna grab it up. Um, let's just quick time look for that, because a lot of people have been hitting the Shade Borough because they believe that they are responsible for the way that they were treating him. So if we go, uh, so if we go here, wait, did he pass? Okay, look. So, um, at the end of a lot of their posts, just trying to find it. 2 seconds. So give me 2 seconds. So guys, it looks like Shadeborough actually removed it because Bouncer put a lot of pressure on them. Sorry, I'm on the wrong post. But if we just look here, it says Cambridge professor Jason Arday resigns amid accusations of plagiarism. In a statement, Arday said that relentless accusations, speculation, and public coverage have taken a profound toll on me and those I love. Jason Arday, 37, becomes the youngest ever black professor at Cambridge University. Now, I initially didn't want to speak on this story because, one, I don't really want to talk on the downfall of black people if they've not actually done anything wrong, and then also, I didn't really care about the story. The story wasn't really that, like, okay, plagiarism, so what? Like, that's not that deep. And obviously, it's just like he's got blown way out of the proportion. But here it is. It says students who complained about Jason Arday's claim they received lower than expected grades came in. So these is just, again, it's just more information or claims out on him that just kept hounding him and put him down into a desegregated state. Now, if we check out what he's
11 years where maybe I couldn't speak and I couldn't converse in a way that everyone else could, because it allowed me to see things in a different way.
Professor Jason Arday was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder at the age of 3. He couldn't speak until he was 11 and read or write until he was 18. Throughout his...
Not speaking until 11 is crazy. Like, you know, some people, he's one of those autistic people that grow up and they can't talk. Like, they're mute. It's crazy.
early years, his parents continued to believe in him.
At 18, my mum had got to a point where there was only so much she could do, and she was brilliant, even though she had this belief that, you know, he'll do something okay, but she was just decided, I need someone else to believe in him as much as I believe in him.
Therapists predicted he would need full-time assistance throughout his life. How wrong they were.
You okay?
So, a little bit about Jason Arday. So, Jason Arday is a British sociology specializing in race and education. Sociologist, sorry. He earned both a BA in Education Studies and Physical Education and an MA in Pedagogy and St. Mary's. He later completed further postgraduate qualifications, including a PhD. Now, PhD is something that you gain when you discover something new in your field or write on something that's not been expounded upon before. At LJMU, his academic career included genuine roles at Durham and Glasgow before Cambridge in 2023. Age 37, he became the youngest black professor in Cambridge history. So he broke a record for us. What did he achieve? Before Cambridge, Arday taught at. So, okay, when did the question begin? So, public scrutiny intensified in July of 2026, placing Arday's academic work under the microscope. Reports identified sections of his 2015 PhD that closely resembled an earlier thesis. Questions also emerged over later papers, two of which he already received formal corrections. However, a misconduct panel did not uphold the plagiarism allegation. So, he bust case. Arday denied wrongdoing while further investigations remained open. While I was in it, the scrutiny moved beyond Arday's research and onto his public biography. Ohio State and Glasgow denied that he had held listed visiting professorship. He had, however, generally served as a full professor at Glasgow. Burbeck found no record of another claimed master's, while Playgrave said he said a listed book was proposed but never published. His 600-mile challenge was also corrected from 6 days to 12. So Arday later clarified that the reported 5 million fundraiser total had been achieved collectively. His 30-mile marathon challenge was reported at the time, but his claimed leg fracture remained unverified. Former classmates given, so like they're going on to his life now. So like, what's the verdict? Arday resigned from Cambridge on the 5th of August 2026, saying pressure, not an administrative wrongdoing, drove this decision. Cambridge is independently investigating his appointment and tenure, while separate misconduct complaints remain open. Glasgow is reviewing its requirements, while Durham says he met its criteria. No final inquiry has been concluded that already fabricated his research. So he's not done anything wrong. The balanced picture is one of genuine achievements, confirmed discrepancies and serious unresolved allegations. So then he was later found dead, following a vicious, deeply racial smear campaign by the media. Professor Arday was the target of a calculated hate campaign, having been accused of plagiarism as well as academic misconduct. Dr. William O'Reilly, also from the University of Cambridge, had been accused of plagiarism but did not face any such targeted campaign. Cambridge upheld the plagiarism complaint against O'Reilly. He was not targeted by the media because he was a white man. So this man was actually found guilty of plagiarism, but he didn't get attacked, whereas Jason Arday was found not guilty of plagiarism and he was racially abused and smeared across the media. Right-wing media center Jason Arday's identity as a black man was to discredit his work that was a racist, calculated targeted. Countless black academics, such as a Professor Arday, continue to be harassed and abused by the university's facilities and the media. So it's just another day where black people get hit with a brick, in it, like all the time. So if we can just look into the type of person he was, just check out. It's a bit cliche, but this is just how he was. He's
Well, in
autistic.
any way, how would you change it? I would take a thread and a needle and I'd interweave love into our society. That's what I would do. I think the absence of love in our society is absolutely palpable. I feel like the empathy we have for one another, the tolerance that we have for one another, it's completely eroded, you know, and there is so much anger in society. There's so much anger in society, and I often think, what would one replace that with? Because also, that anger's become inflicted. You know, we're not kind of driven towards one goal, we're kind of turning on one another. And so for me, the thing that I would do, if I could change the world, I would have the world and I'd have it spinning on this axis of love. That's what I'd have. Because we've lost, as a society, in my humble opinion, I think we've lost our way. And I think the last 15 years, or the last 13 years for sure, particularly in British society, has been a huge enabler of that.
So he was very socially conscious and emotionally conscious as well. And he was just seemed like a genuinely nice guy. Now, I'm going to say something that's a bit controversial. Some people might say it's mean, but he didn't look well. He looked unwell. He looked very timid. He looked very fragile. And he doesn't look like a very strong person that can stand or withstand a lot of friction and a lot of friction, for lack of a better word. I can't think of another word. So yeah, he's found dead at 41, just days after resigning amid plagiarism. So it's a shame that our black leaders or our black professionals get hit with a brick consistently, and their lives are then done. So one of the UK's largest black-run social media platforms, the Sage Barra, is facing backlash following Jason Arday's death, with many accusing the platform of contributing to the online pylon against him days before he died. Now, if we just take a look at this, this is a woman, and she speaks about people that she speaks about the situation. So let's just look at it.
Has never been found guilty of plagiarism. In fact, as recently as March this year, he was found not guilty. Cambridge opened an investigation into plagiarism, but that has not been conclusive. But I tell you what, we have a lot of white professors and prominent figures who have conclusively been found to plagiarise. And I just wonder what happened to them. Take, for example, Dr. William O'Reilly, another Cambridge professor, who in 2023 was found guilty of plagiarising 12 entire pages, word for word, from 2 of his students.
Wow. Wow. Alright. So this brother, William O'Reilly, he plagiarized from his students word for word, and he's not got hit with a brick. That's crazy. That's crazy. Dr. William O'Reilly is an associate professor in early modern history at this university. He's also a fellow at Trinity. He specializes in plagiarism and controversy. Dr. O'Reilly became the center of public media scrutiny due to a high-profile plagiarism case. The accusation in 2023, a university disciplinary tribunal upheld a complaint that Dr. O'Reilly had plagiarized his own students' work. More than 12 pages of the article he published in the academic journal were copied almost word for word from essays written by undergraduate students. The ruling: the internal Cambridge tribunal concluded that the plagiarism was neglect and accidental rather than deliberate. What? Dr. O'Reilly argued that he had he had copied the text into his draft merely as a placeholder and mistakenly left it in the final published version. What? The outcome: because the panel deemed it accidental, he was allowed to keep his academic post at Cambridge. The decision drew heavy criticism from student journalists, fellow academics, and the original student author, who described the ruling as baffling. That is crazy. 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 I forgot his name. Jason Arday. Jason Arday. That is, my man said see how they treat white people so different. They always find a loophole for them. Resignation and controversy, death and aftermath. On August 14th, just days after his resignation, Arday was found dead in London apartment. Authorities stated his death was unexpected but not treated as suspicious. Resignation. Academic claims of plagiarism and data discrepancies were leveled against his work, originally sparked by a dismissed Cambridge academic. While Liverpool John Moores University cleared his PhD work, Cambridge had initiated an independent inquiry into the appointment and tenure. So look at that. My man bust the case and they went even more deeper into him. The other guy got found guilty and they was allowed to keep his job because they said it was accidental. He thieved it from his student. That's messed up. His student, bro.
That was just called accidental. He's kept his post. He's still a professor at Cambridge. Or Professor Kevin Cruz from Princeton University, who it was an honest mistake, wasn't it, when he copied entire passages? So he too kept his job. We also have prominent public figures like Rachel Reeves, who had dozens of uncredited paragraphs in her book, and she just called it inadvertent mistakes.
Wow.
And went on to become the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Jane Goodall also kept her post at the UN after copying entire paragraphs, word for word, in her book, but she just called it chaotic note-taking.
What the hell?
And Joe Biden, who had 5 pages in his 15-page article at law school.
Man said a third of his article was plagiarized.
Plagiarized verbatim. And
what does verbatim actually mean, though? Let's check out verbatim, because I hear that word a lot, but I don't actually know the definition of the word. Verbatim. Verbatim means using the exact same words that were first used or repeating something word for word. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Copy Neil Kinnock's speeches.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, he went on to become president of the United States. Nobody cared if he wore orange trousers or ran a marathon. The hound.
So that's just breakdown of all the hypocrisy in white society. So let's see what our black sister has to say. But just before that, I'm gonna just go into here where it says Shade Barrow is getting held to the fire for what they done, because look at all these white professors that got hit with a brick and they've not mentioned them. Shade Barrow has been active for over 10 years and they never hounded those white professors as much as they hounded Jason Arday. So this is incredibly sad, and you guys should actually be ashamed, because don't think we didn't clock you literally posting him on the last page of your posts for no reason. I know, I was thinking, why do they keep putting him on the end, and now they've removed it? Are y'all not part of the problem, inciting and encouraging hatred with your posts? You guys kept in the last slide of your post for weeks. I hope you guys think about carrying yourselves with grace. Time for Shade Barrows to be held legally accountable, along with the other media scum in the UK. We are onto you. Deleting articles like the dead inside cowards you are isn't going to help. You contributed to you harassed and bullied this man all week. I don't even follow this page, and your post repeatedly came up on my feed. TSB was part of the bullying, by the way. Let's not forget that. You've had this slide of him at the end of your post for the past week and a bit. Don't act like you care. You've been disrespectful. You should take down this post down. You do not. Not gonna lie, you lot are part responsible for this. You did far too much. Hope he haunts you. You were part of him. You did this, a post these past few days. You must be ashamed. A black-owned platform has proven time and time again that they rather drag black folks down than uplift them. It comes to a point that life has been taken. I hope y'all sleep well knowing that y'all participated in social media bullying. God will deal with y'all according. I unfollowed the shame years ago for less, so now go. Okay, I can't read anymore.
That Jason Arday, the Cambridge University professor, has been found dead, and I need you to know that I hold so many of you responsible. All of you that wanted to write think pieces about, oh, but he did do this and he did do that. You all keep forgetting that you are dealing with a human being. You keep forgetting that you are dealing with human beings. You are so fucking chronically online that you are forgetting that no matter what you think people have done, that you are dealing with human beings. And the disproportionate way that he was hounded by the British...
Can't lie, man. Her talking like that is making me sad still. Like, it's making me get shivers and stuff like... Damn, man. Rest in peace, Jason Arday, innit? Like, my man, you're a smart individual. You had autism. You dealt with that. You excelled. You excelled in life. You did your thing. And then just to be hit with a brick. And then... it's sad. It's sad. I don't really want to hear her ranting anymore. It's making me sad. But guys, this is what happens. This is what happens in the black community. We champion negativity rather than positivity, and we always tear down each other. So Shade Barrow, you're a pagan. Jason Arday, rest in peace, and the British media and the British professors that plagiarized and bust case because it was a mistake or note taking, etc. You can get hit with a brick too and suck yourself. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't get hit with a brick. Like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoy my content. And I'll see you in the next one.